Hello, everyone. Welcome to Amazing Transformations. I am so super excited. Why did I look like I was frozen there for a second? I am here with the amazing Katrina Cole, and also known as Trina Shay, as I put in the thumbnail. I came across her videos and I loved her. That's Dawn, her sense of humor and also her inspiring message, and I just immediately reached out to her and she didn't like ignore me
Wait a
like
minute, is that the lady that eats the
yes, the raw vegan,
what's
the wrap. I told you she would know. She just now figured it out. Hi Carrie, thank you for
what
coming.
is going on, sis? She is too funny.
I love it, right? You should see her inspiring messages. I got to start reading you them. So Katrina, most people, she said, know me as Trina Shay. I started her raw vegan journey as a way to take control of her health and begin healing from the inside out. After completing a 30-day juice fast, she's on another one, by the way, and transitioning into raw food, she lost over 50 pounds and noticed major improvements in energy, mindset, overall well being. And she is currently focused on raw living, but she believes in balance and listening to the body. And she shares her journey through honest conversations, daily meals, and a little humor. And she is hoping and does, I think, inspire others to explore natural ways to heal and feel their best and whatever that looks like for them. And she's creating like ebooks and guides and coaching programs to help others get started on their own healing path and with support and simplicity. So I am so excited you're here. Welcome. I probably could have went on, but I have to stop there so we can both of us can get to our raw meals, right?
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I'm excited you're here. So I usually just start these out with a little kind of like basically I know you probably didn't, but did you grow up vegan or did is this something when did this happen? Like what motivated you or what even like sparked your interest in vegan or raw or what was it that, created this path for you?
So I absolutely did not grow up vegan. I grew up eating the traditional, this regular food, soul food, meat, everything. Okay, but my as I got older, my dad did start trying to incorporate healthier foods. Like he would cut out like white rice and white sugars and breads and stuff like that. He
Mhm.
started slowly try to incorporate different meals. And I did go vegan one time in high school for like 6 months. Then broke it for like a can of chili. I think it was
Right?
so. But I always did different research, and I always found out that if you like was to get sick or anything, that you could actually heal your body. So I'm like, okay, if I ever get sick, then I'm
Mhm.
just not eat. Because my dad used to always tell us when we were younger, he would say, if my head was hurting, he'd be like, okay. I'd be like, Dad, my head hurt. He'll say, well, don't eat. I used to be so mad. I say,
Mm.
Dad, I stuck. Oh, he'll say,
Like, I think that's what's wrong most of us when our head hurts, right? We need to eat, and that was the other way.
so that was his message for everything. Like anything that was wrong, he would say, don't eat. So when I got older and started realizing, well, yeah, some of that is really true. You do have to starve some of these diseases out of your body. So
Mhm.
I started getting well, I'm jumping too far ahead, but yeah, that's what basically started that. I started going through some issues myself
Mhm.
and with some illnesses, and I decided, hey, let me start what I need to be starting. Let me get to heal my body holistically.
Mhm. So that and this was so that was when you were like younger in high school. When did this like right now start like when you really got serious and started doing the juice fast and things like that? Was that later on now closer to where we are this year or
Yes. So back at the in the end of December, 2024, beginning of January, I decided to change my diet. So basically, I cut out all meats, all dairy, all processed foods, all sugars. I was ready for a change. I was the largest I've been is 460 pounds.
Okay.
Time when I started, I was 423 pounds.
Wow.
So I got tired of carrying around that weight. So I
Mhm.
started cleaning up my diet. And then I start having these issues where these red knots start coming on my legs. And at first I thought they were bug bites. I didn't know what it was. As the days and weeks went by, it started getting worse and worse. The pain, was starting to be unbearable. And I'm like, what
Mm.
is this? So I go to the doctor and
And
they
did you say red knots? It cut out on me a little bit. Okay. I think it's my internet.
started out with one red knot on my leg, and then it spread into multiple red knots. And at first, like I said, I thought they were bug bites, but the pain started getting worse, and it was harder.
Mm.
Like barely touch my legs. I was like,
Oh,
so after going to the doctor a few times, they was like, okay, let me check up. We think this might be with your history. It might be sarcoidosis, which affect your lungs also. And so when they
wow.
say that it may be the day that she told me, I went to the doctor and she told me that this could be sarcoidosis. And she went to telling me what the treatments would be like and, all of that and how I would have to go get biopsies and all that. The next day I started a 30-day juice cleanse. Well,
Wonderful.
actually I started before the juice cleanse. I did 3 days of water fasting. And then I went into the remaining 27 days of the juice cleanse.
That's amazing. And so, and what I love that you just did or said is there's a certain number of people who would have just went and started researching all those treatments and figuring out what kind of medication and never like thankfully I think what you said it was your dad like instilled that in you way
Mhm.
back then. I think sometimes it revisits us things that we learn early on and something clicks like okay and you went that direction. And so the 30-day juice cleanse, and just so we can like skip ahead a little bit, I saw a post that you are not on medication right now for that, right? You are not dealing with that at this point.
Correct. Well, as far as the sarcoidosis, I'm still having some. They're trying to figure out what's going on with my lungs because they found some lymph nodes in there. But I'm still juicing. It takes time to heal all that crap that we've been putting
Mhm.
out over the years. But as far
Yes.
as medications, when I started eating clean and juicing and everything, I was able to get off of all my blood pressure medicines and uh,
Wow.
acid reflux, like all the medicines that I've been on for years. I no longer take those.
Oh, that's amazing. And that's what like one of the reasons I love doing this because people just there's like how I was before I was 42 and saw this video and something clicked. It was like with me, I just thought if you get sick or you have high blood pressure, you take medication. Like I never realized, I know it sounds funny now considering all the stuff I put out, but I never realized how food connected with certain things. There were like I understood if I eat too much, I'm going to gain weight, right? But like when it came to blood pressure, sugar, diabetes, all those things, other than the obvious, like if I sat and ate 27 Reese cups, that wasn't good. But like other than that, I had no idea that like the saturated fat actually is what causes the insulin resistance. Like all these things that I feel like we should have these things shouted from the mainstream media, but they're not. So thank you for sharing your journey and being cool enough to come and share it with everyone here. And before we get back to your amazing story, I just wanted to welcome Marakita, thank you for joining. Tessa, thank you for coming. And Dawn is here as her AKA J&J Video Reacts. And Carrie is lurking while working. Thank you for lurking. We love that. She lurks all the time. And okay, so let me go backwards because I got excited to tell people you weren't on your blood pressure medications any longer. We'll have to talk about that cuff too. I remember, right? You were sharing like little milestones. That's what I love about your journey when you were talking about that day you went to get your blood pressure, checked, how the cuff was able to fit around your arm better. And I love that cuz like the little things that pop up people don't realize along on your journey of your, weight loss and healing.
Right. I was shocked. Usually they put the cuff like right here. And when she put it on there, it was a new nurse. So she just slid up on the top of my arm. And I say, I don't think it's gonna fit right there. She said, well, it's working. I was like, okay.
That is amazing. I love it. Um, and that tone, wait a minute. I can't, that country girl, I think it is. Welcome to you. So tell us, let's go backwards to, okay, you started with 3 days of not eating after you found out about this like potential diagnosis. And then you went 30 days on juice. Is that when you started like recording your journey?
I actually did not start recording my journey. I just went on the juice cleanse. I started recording my journey right after the juice cleanse, right before I went 30 days of raw.
Okay, cool. And what made you want to do like raw food after that? Was it just like you were, researched it, or what made you go into raw food right after the juice?
Basically researching and feeding my body living foods. And I didn't
Hmm.
want anything processed or dead back in my body, trying to still, basically on the healing process still. So I was like, okay, let me see if I can do 30 days of raw. If I can do 30 days of juicing with no food, I definitely
Right. You could surely do some raw food, right? And then I saw all those videos where you were making these really good looking like, I forget, the first one I ever saw was the collard wrap, and then you had like this sauce that went on it. Have you always liked to cook and you just transform that into the raw, or is that like a new thing that you found with the raw food?
yeah, I've always been good at cooking. I don't really enjoy it, but I've always been really good at it, hence the weight. But transform it over into the raw. I'm like, okay. So I watch different videos. I may watch YouTube or TikTok videos of different people, eating raw. And I'll see, basically get the concept of what they have going on, and I'll just put my own twist on it.
Oh, that's nice. What's your favorite raw dish that you've had?
Collard green wrap was good, but my favorite is the stuffed avocado. Oh my God.
Oh, that looks good too. I think you shared that too, didn't you?
Yeah, the stuffed avocado is really good.
What goes Didn't you tell us your secret, like what goes in that? I forget exactly what you said. You took the filler out of the avocado first, right?
I turned it into guacamole basically. So I put the onions and tomatoes and cilantro, lime. You can add jalapenos if you want, but I don't because I don't like the heat. But you basically make it into guac, put it back in the shell, and then you put either pecan meat or walnut meat. I prefer pecan on top of it, and I topped it with chopped bell peppers and onions and tomatoes, and I drizzled it with some cashew cheese sauce.
Ah, that's that cashew cheese sauce. You guys got to go check out. I think we put all her links in here. So I see her from Facebook a lot because I'm always hanging out on there. But I know you have like you send all of them. So whatever social media you like, then go right ahead and check her out. She's got them uploaded on those. And when did this become like to you sharing your journey? But then I noticed you share a lot of like inspirational things, like your posts every day. I don't know how you come up with them to motivate us, but you are always sharing like, you know, I, I can't even think of one offhand right now, but it's more or less like, be within where you are on your journey. Don't be too hard on yourself. Like you seem like you really have a passion for trying to help other people see this lifestyle.
Yes, because I feel like it's all about your mindset. It's all
Hmm.
about but eating right, the way you live, the way your thought process is all about your mindset. So I've always wanted to help people like realize that. So that's where I get those posts from. Sometimes those posts just come to the top of my head. Sometimes it's stuff I'm talking to myself. It's stuff I've been through or I see
Yeah,
something through. So that's where
that
that
is awesome. And the cool thing about it, like we were talking about, is I think a lot of people feel like they have to do everything all at once, and I love your journey because you are like kind of taking us on it, because you are doing different things now. Like we said, you did the 3 days of like no food, then you did juice, and then you did raw food, and this is like all new to you. But it also looks like you really are enjoying it, you know, like you don't come on the videos and seem miserable every day, but yet you're honest about the struggles, which I think a lot of people need to also see.
Right. And I do want to note that even though this is my first time going on this particular journey, like I've done fast before. Like I've done
Mhm.
a fast, 3 day fast, several times. I've done different type of cleanses, but this is my first time for going on a juice cleanse that long for 30 days. And then
Mhm.
also this is my first time ever going raw.
That is awesome. And did you like when you first thought about going raw, like what were like the things that held you back from it? Was it like something where you were like, I don't know if I can do this? Like did it the first couple of days, was it hard or did it come pretty easily to you?
The first couple of days came pretty easy because I had just came off the juice cleanse. So I was ready to eat whatever whatever kind of
Right.
I was really bad the first few days. After the first few days, it was like, okay, this could get boring if you don't make it interesting. So that's when I started trying to come up with different recipes because I did
Mhm.
not want salads every day.
Yeah, you didn't wanna be boring like my salads every day, right? I even switch up the dressing sometimes, like, but, I need to that's why I always am watching your page. I'm like, "I'm gonna try to make some of these recipes." That pecan meat, oh, man, that sounds so good. Like,
Yeah.
it just looks good, like and when you are coming from like, I think what people I don't know if this is your experience too, is like the me 10 years ago saying something like that, I would have rolled my eyes and been like, "What are you talking about? I'm not eating nut meat." What
Right.
like it's funny to like how though your tastes changed. Did you find like you just like started craving the fresh food where almost like the cooked food becomes the wrong way, I guess, in your mind, like it just doesn't taste right like it when I went back and forth to it.
Right. So I did a video on that. Like after I finished my 30 days of raw, I had a conference in Dallas. So we decided to go to a vegan restaurant. So that was my first time eating cooked food in a couple of months. So I ate the cooked food. It was delicious. But
Mhm.
after the fact, I did notice that, okay, when I went to the bathroom, it stinks. Like the way my stomach feel was horrible. Um,
Mhm.
one of the main things was like when I ate it, I only could eat a little bit because I hadn't been eating much, so I got full really quick. But the only thing I could think about when I left the restaurant was, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get back to my room to finish eating this food. I was full. I was not hungry, but that's all I thought about. Like, I cannot wait to get back and finish eating this food. That's all I thought about the whole evening. With raw, I don't care how good the food tastes to me. And the avocado, I love it. The collard green, I love it. There's a couple of other things I like too. But I don't care how good it tastes. My body does not say, hey, you need to go take another bite because it was that good. It's like I eat it and I'm satisfied. And usually what y'all see me making those videos, if I make one wrap or two wraps, most of the time I don't eat all of that. I may take a few bites or eat one wrap and I'm done. My body is like, you okay, you had enough.
That is amazing too, right? Like I've experienced that myself when I've fluctuated back from raw to, cooked food and I'll like start out with like sorry, there's some motorcycles outside. That's not my stomach growling if you can hear that. Um, but it probably is growling, but not that loud. But I was thinking about the way that I can nonstop eat. But like I when I'm raw, I can go all day too without eating. I think I've heard you mention that. And it's like there's a way that you fill up. I think like basically the real reason is the nutrients in it is giving you what you need. But it's like if I'm just eating like, vegan lunch meat sandwiches or something, I can eat like 3 or 4 of them. But like one big salad fills me up at night. So it doesn't make sense. Those I think that's the important thing is when you're eating raw, for dietary purposes, I always find this easier because I can eat as much as I want. I don't have to like have a square of, a half a sandwich for lunch and then have to like feel hungry.
Right. And it's also I think some of the types of cooked food we eat too is like processed stuff, breads and stuff like that. Because I noticed that before I went on my 30-day juice cleanse, I was eating clean. So basically, but I was still eating salmon though. That that don't count. But I was eating clean, no processed foods, no meat, no dairy, and stuff like that. But I noticed that when I went into that cleanse, I was fine. Like I wasn't that hungry. This time going into the cleanse, I had been eating that vegan food. So hopping into this cleanse was rough. I was
Yeah.
starving the whole time. I'm like, oh, I just want to end this and eat. Like I even told my son one day, I don't know if you saw that video. I was like, listen, it's some macadamia nuts up there. I just want you to bring me the macadamia nuts. I'm going. I was like, tell on me. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna tell on you. And he was, and I said, I said, oh, he said, well, listen, you know what? I'm not gonna tell on you. He said, basically, you're gonna have to deal with it yourself on the inside. So you're gonna be lying to yourself and you're gonna be lying to those people. So do you
Oh my goodness, he got you.
he said, do you want the nuts? I was like, just bring me the juice. Just
I love it. He gave your own stuff back to you, right?
I
Oh, that shows that. And I meant to ask that earlier, too, like if you don't mind sharing like the reaction of like your friends or your family like around you, like were they like surprised, or is it hard for you to do that if they're not eating the same way?
it's not that hard. It's not hard. My family is pretty much on board. My dad is basically, he's starting, well, he was already eat on and off eating like this anyway. So he's back on board eating, not completely raw but pretty clean. And then my sister, she's doing more juicing, eating cleaner. So it's 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 working around the family. There's some of my friends and other like cousins and stuff, they may look at me like I'm a little crazy.
Right.
Or they still support, but they still go
Yes.
fried chicken and stuff, but they still support me.
Yeah, and eventually you never know like who this could be spark like what your dad did for you all those years ago. This could be sparking something in them where later on they need it. Heather says, yes, because our body craves the nutrients. Yep, you're exactly right. Like we don't realize that when we're eating and then we're not getting the nutrients, our body just and then the salt and sugar and the processed foods, it's just like craving, and then you're never getting full because you're never getting the right nutrients, and it's a big cycle. And we've all been through it because each of us in our own way have had our weight loss journey guaranteed when we come on this type of diet. What do you think you'll like do you think you'll stay on this particular path of raw, or are you thinking of whole food, or are you just kind of taking it by however it feels?
I'm kind of taking it by however it feels, but as of right now, my body enjoys being raw. I
Well, you
think
look like you're glowing, like, definitely, you can tell, like, you're doing something right.
yeah, I definitely enjoy the raw diet. Now, I'm not gonna say I'm never gonna eat cooked foods again because
Mhm.
I'll probably lean toward cooking them myself, like my own sauteed veggies and stuff, instead of eating the processed bread, other vegan foods that are full of carbs and processed and everything like that.
That is so good. So, if somebody was coming into this, like, brand new and, maybe sees this and is inspired, like, "Okay, maybe I might be able to give this a try," what would you say is a good tip, like, for your mindset to get in?
I would say take it one day at a time. Start easy. Like don't jump into a 30-day cleanse or a 14-day.
Mhm.
Don't jump into it. If you do 1 to 3 days starting out, just gradually ease into it. Don't just think you're gonna jump into it and it's gonna be all peaches and cream. No, it's gonna be a little rough on you if you've never done any kind of fasting or juicing before. So that would be the biggest thing I would say is just to ease into it. Do start out with 1 to 3 days.
That is it. And what about that? Like some people I know, depending on where we're coming from, detox differently. Some people say that they even, you know, they feel clearer. I remember you talking about that, like after you get past it. But what changes did you experience as far as like I know you had the 50-pound weight loss, and what else happened?
Yeah, it's been, the weight loss been extreme. So I started out at 423. As of today, when I weighed myself, and y'all the only one, y'all, this is exclusive. I'm
Oh,
not
we
telling.
acknowledge JJ. You hear that, guys? Amazing plans, transformations, exclusive interview.
So as of today, when I weighed myself, I am 339,
Woo! That is awesome. And where did you start at the beginning, like right before the first juice cleanse?
423.
Oh wow, that is amazing, Katrina. And like,
That's 84 pounds
oh my
since,
gosh.
since January.
And you gotta be able to, like, I know when I've, like, even since I've been vegan, I've picked up 10 pounds, lost 10 pounds. And I feel it. Like, my knees start aching when I go on, like, holiday or I'm eating, a lot of processed foods. And, like, how do you feel? Like, what is the major differences you've noticed?
I'm able to get around better, more energy, um, brain fog is gone. There's so many different things.
Well, I see how many videos you're making, so obviously you're productive over there because I'm sure you got other things going on if you have a family and you're working, and so it's like
Where I do everything under the sun. I'm a realtor, a life insurance agent. I do everything.
that is it. Oh yeah, I saw some. That was probably where you were traveling for or something. I think at some point in one of the videos. But I was like, yeah, I can't keep up with her. She's doing all kinds of stuff, all these videos. So she's this diet is definitely makes us productive, right? Like. And I heard the one video where you were talking about too, like the clarity, the getting rid of brain fog.
Yes, because like my thoughts come in clearer. I'm able to focus more. Because before I was just all over the place. I couldn't think straight. I couldn't think clear. I was just, just
Hmm.
laying
It
focused.
is
Yeah.
focus.
Mhm.
That is awesome. I think that is one of the cool things about it is you're sharing all of those things because we think about weight loss as one thing, but I love that you're bringing that point up that you feel the clarity. Um. Oh, J&J Video Reacts said, "Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations." Yeah, that is such an accomplishment, because it's not easy to do. It's easy to do it for a few and then go back into habits. So I think that's so amazing. What do you feel like contributed to that? Like, do you feel like you've always had like a strong mindset to put your mind to stuff and it just carried over?
In some things, but not when it comes to my diet. I did not. So
Mhm.
I've been on and off a weight loss journey for years. I would always lose up a lot of weight, gain it back, lose weight, gain it back. I've been battling this for years, but this time, um, two things basically. One thing was like, 'cause I'm like, I do not want to be on medication the rest of my life. I've seen how my family gets sick and a lot that passed away, and it's not been like it's been pretty rough how they went out. My mom passed away.
Yeah.
Not good. So I'm like, I don't want my kids to see me go out like that. I don't want to have to go out if I can prevent it. Now I know we can't prevent everything with what we eat, but a lot of it we can. So
Mhm.
I did not want to with this illness coming. I didn't want to have to deal with medicines and being sick and in the hospital and stuff like that. So that was one thing. And then the other thing was just basically I got tired of lying to myself. We tend to do that sometimes. We tend to say, okay, I'm gonna start this diet on Monday, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna clean out that closet, or I'm gonna do this, and we basically lying to ourselves, which hurts our self esteem. It with us in a lot of different ways. So I got tired of lying to myself. And so that built my confidence by me saying that I'm going to do it and sticking to it. That's what made me actually stick to it. The illness is what made me start it. Me wanting to prove to myself that I could finish something that I told myself I was going to accomplish is what made me stick with it.
Mhm. That really got to me the other day when I saw that video that you shared because It is so true. Like we almost act like we are, I don't know, getting away with something. Like, when you say, well, I'm going to, if I say I'm going to go on juices, let's say, or I'm going to go on raw foods, and then, or even I'm going to pick up something healthy for dinner and you don't do it, like really it's harder to know that you did that to yourself rather. And I think putting it online is also commendable because you totally make yourself accountable. And I think that's so brave and amazing that, you do that. And along with all of the other influencers, it's not easy to have your, life pretty much out there, but it is so inspiring because just like the comment on here says, good job, your journey is inspiring, you're inspiring others. So I appreciate you, doing that. And also like keeping it real, like I don't even sound right saying that, right? I was trying to sound cool like I was young, right? But but you know what I mean? You're sharing like your struggles too, and then how you overcame them, which is what people really need. What made you add in a little bit of humor to it? Do you is that just your personality? I'm betting it is because you put up with me.
That's definitely my personality. All the videos I've made prior to this, even when I was doing homeschooling videos for my son, all of them were humorous. So yeah, that's just my personality.
I love it. I think, well, there's a certain type of person who will watch one of those videos and immediately like subscribe or, like friend request or follow or whatever the social media is. And that was like the one of the main things when you got to the end with that rap and it didn't hold together. It just took me back to like my sushi experience. And I'm like, oh my goodness, the fact that she was cool enough to share that the rap didn't go right. Cause you have all these well put together videos where everything looks all like goes perfectly by the time everything's edited out. And I'm like, I love that you were real enough to show us that it's not just me that can't
Right.
rap properly.
I was highly disappointed, but the rap was really good. It was good.
Yes. Sometimes the way it looks doesn't make any difference about the way it tastes, right? And you guys got to go check out that video with that cashew cheese because it is going to make your mouth water when you just see it running across the top of her food. And then I noticed sometimes you're like, oh, I'm going to use that cashew cheese I made yesterday or that sauce, and then I'm trying to get back to the video before it, right? Trying to find it. What has been like, what would you say has been one of the biggest challenges? Was it in the very beginning or was it like just, not eating what everyone else eats, or what do you think has been the hardest thing for you in this whole process of losing weight and gaining this clarity?
Um, Not eating what everyone eats sometimes because
Hmm.
I'm so used to like we go and get fast food and the kids have fries or something and I'm grabbing, you know, like yeah, not eating what everyone else eats. Because first I was still craving like fried chicken and French fries and all kind of stuff. So the cravings were still there. People act like they're not there; they are still there. But they don't really go away. But I can deal with them. It's not bad anymore.
That makes sense. And the longer you stay on your path, sometimes our body, like people talk about, I've even heard doctors talk about the gut microbiome, is we're kind of training it, just like we can train our mind by putting positive thoughts in and things. When we eat the healthier food, eventually after so many days being removed from the other food, our biome is like kind of craving that. So where the food can look good that you used to have, but it's not to the point where it's like, I have to have that, like I got to eat it. It's kind of like, yeah, I could do that, but I'm actually in the mood for my salad, like that's what happens a lot to me. If I'm seeing something on TV, I'll see, oh, that I remember used to like that, but it's not like it was in the first month when I was like, oh, and you just staring at the TV and go into another world like, should I eat that? That internal struggle goes away, I think.
Right.
Well, this has like been so cool. Does anybody in the comments here have any questions. You're just gonna let me ask all the questions, right? That is so cool. So let's go over where we can find you. Your channels, are they Katrina Cole on all of them, or
I think it's under Trina Shay.
okay?
Trina Shay.
Got it. And I've got everything here in your bio here. So we've got Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You can find her on all of those places. And what was I going to say? There was something I was about to say, but you see, I'm getting old. I forgot what I was going to ask you next. Um, what was it? I don't know. I'll think of it in a minute. But what is? I think I might just want to ask you to tell us about. Like, I think you gave us one already, but is there any other tips, or like what would you going forward with this? Are you going to continue to share your journey so that we can follow you and see what how the progression goes, or is this just something you were doing during this weight loss process?
I'm definitely going to continue to share my journey, come up with some more recipes. I have an idea for a recipe that I'm going to do. I'm probably going to post it next week. I might do it this weekend because, like I told you earlier, it's another exclusive.
Uh-oh, look at this, guys. We're getting all the exclusives.
So I'm actually, according to online, I'm on a 14-day juice cleanse, right? But I started 3 days prior to what I put out on Facebook. So technically, yesterday was the last day of my 14-day cleanse, so I can eat today. I have yet, but I can eat today.
Yes. So if anybody sees her out there and is taking snapshots, it's behind, right? We're behind on Facebook. Just
And
kidding. I
also,
hope nobody's chasing you around with a camera yet, right? We got a while before we'll be that famous.
right.
Paparazzi.
But I have um raw meal, and I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I think it's going to be good. So the idea that I have for a raw meal is raw rotel. Rotel dip. Yes, rotel dip. So
Wow. What is that exactly? Because I've never had it.
you never had rotel dip? It's like when you add you melt Velveeta cheese and you have ground beef in there and the rotel tomatoes, canned tomatoes.
Oh, I think I just call it something different. I called it hamburger helper or something. I don't know. Look, guys, I made her laugh. I told you. I told you. I had to pay her back for all those videos. She made me laugh out loud.
Noodles in. But yeah, it's rotel dip. You dip like Doritos and chips into it. But I was gonna make it raw, like maybe with my cashew cheese sauce, some pecan meat, and just chopped up tomatoes in there. So that's gonna be.
Mm,
And then like so with raw, I know that they consider if you dehydrate something and it's under like 115 or I can't remember the exact temperature, it's still considered somewhat raw because the nutrients are still in it. I
mhm.
don't know those because some things are raw, some things are not. I'd be confused on some things.
That's why I think we can't be too like dogmatic, I think is the word with it, because they if you are going to, like, some people ruin their whole diet because they can't find a raw cashew or peanut or something, like you definitely is healthier to eat the cooked one if you're gonna worry
Right,
about it. But I think it's 100. I've heard 118, like you said, maybe 115, and you can do that in like the dehydrator, right?
right, right. So I'm probably gonna do like for the chips. I'm not sure yet.
Ooh, I'm excited. I'm gonna check that one out. So, have you used the dehydrator? I forgot if I remember seeing anything yet.
I have one as of right now, but I plan on getting one. I just don't like a lot of different appliances, and I keep adding up appliances. I got a food processor now, two juicers, all kind of stuff, and I hate different stuff on my cabinet. So whole nother appliance I gotta get. I can just put it in the oven, but I don't want the oven heating up the house all day. So I might just get a dehydrator.
It's definitely easier to eat. raw sometimes, in the whole scheme of things, especially if you're out and traveling and different things like that. I saw someone just did a video on that, how much easier it is if you can do it. It ends up actually simplifying things, right? No, like, long meals that you have to put in the oven and in the heat, especially if you live in an area where it's hot out.
Right. If I can get my kids on board, it'll be all good. But the kids, it's a struggle. My 15-year-old, he's on the so he wouldn't eat fruits or vegetables. He's For years he would never eat fruits or vegetables. Um,
Wow.
then doing juicing and doing raw journey, he just started to taste the fruits and vegetables. He, that's a big deal. It might not seem like a big deal, but for him to even put it in his mouth because the texture of it, just to taste it, I said, okay, he's seeing this and it's influencing him in a good way. For him to want to taste the strawberries and different stuff like
That's
that.
awesome. Yes, it's like it's influencing him without you even knowing it or without you pushing him. That's the best way. It's like becoming his idea, right?
Right.
And he's 15. Do you mind saying how old the other?
16.
Oh, okay, 16. So, yeah, they're that very influential, time where they know what they want to eat. They eat their own thing, like it's not like you can, yeah, maybe sometimes a 4-year-old they're gonna eat what you put out, right? For the most part. But
Got a job, so he has a job at a concession stand. So he comes home with burgers and fries. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why? We were trying to get rid of this stuff.
right, and look how strong you are to go ahead and even be able to be around that. So that's inspiring to all of us too. Um, Let me ask this question if you mind. Do you have a few more minutes, like about 10 more, if that's okay? And I just thought of another question, and then I'll promise I will let you go eat so you can break your fast, your juices. Um, do you grow or plan to grow some of your raw food, like a kitchen garden, hydroponics, tower garden, etc.?
Yes, I do. We're in the process right now of growing a garden. So I have strawberries, blueberries, got some lavender out there. I haven't started my herbs. I might do my herbs tomorrow because I supposed to have did it last week. I have apple trees, 2 apple trees, 2 peach trees, um, what a lemon.
Strawberry. I saw you do a strawberry, right? Did you already say that one?
Uh-huh.
I saw
Uh,
you and your kids are taking a taste of it, or one
yeah,
of them.
that's the one who don't eat the fruits and veggies right there.
Ah, there we go. Caught on tape.
So I have a lemon tree, an orange tree, and then we tilled up the garden in the back for different vegetables and stuff. And my son decided he wanted to go out there and just plant a whole bunch of vegetables. So we don't know what's growing where, but he planted cabbages and squash and water, a lot of other different stuff. Yeah, we're planting.
I love it. And you can hear this one here. My cat, she's bullying me into giving her treats. She knows when I'm on live, if she meows enough, I'll just like keep giving them to her. She's not supposed to have this many in a row. Um, it's like you're gonna have to start eating on a diet too, menu. But I was gonna say, can you just tell us like the last couple things I wanted to ask, and when you did the juices, like, can you just tell someone like what do you put in yours, or like what is a normal juice, or what would you think would be something that could like sustain or give them the nutrients they need, or at least gave you the nutrients? We're not doctors, but
Oh,
what's a good juice? That's all I'm thinking. I'm overthinking it.
okay. This juice cleanse, what did I make? They're basically the same. Sometimes I switch them up, but I did like green apples, and then I do a greens. Usually I switch it up. Sometimes I do kale, sometimes I do spinach, or
Okay.
some parsley and cilantro. So I did apples, spinach, ginger, lemons,
Mm.
celery, cucumbers, pineapple. That's a good combination. Did you get
What
any
is
green?
How much do you use for that? Like if someone was going out, like how many cucumbers would go into, and do you make like a lot of it? I've never done juice, so that's why I'm so interested.
Um, I usually make a big batch of them of it, and you're not supposed to do it over like 2 or 3 days. really they you're supposed to juice daily, but
Mhm.
I know myself, and I know that if I have to juice daily, I would not be drinking juice. So I
Right.
have, but if it's over if it's over 3 days, I do I freeze it and just pull it out the day before and let it thaw out or whatever. But um I would say about like a bag. It depends on how much I'm making. Like a bag or two of green apples, I would do about like 3 to 4 cucumbers, um, one whole one whole bag of celery, um, like spinach, probably like 10 ounces, 10, 12 ounces of spinach, maybe.
Mhm.
Um, like a thumb or two of ginger, not much. Unless you like a lot of ginger, because ginger can be strong and
It can be
burn.
hot. Yeah.
What else did I say? Celery and lemons. I would put maybe like 2 to 3 lemons in there, and maybe one whole or two whole pineapples. Pineapples I use is good for you too, but I use it also for a sweetener. So
Mhm.
pineapples just make everything taste good.
It's funny. I had a little time where I worked in a Asian, restaurant. Dawn probably remembers this. And I came home and I was all excited. I was like, "She don't put sugar in it. She uses pineapple in all that stuff." Like I was just blown away. So when you said sweetener, it reminded me of that. Sorry, Judy, if you're watching, I gave away your natural sweetener, but no, I don't think she cares. But like I thought that was interesting. I was gonna say too, right before you said that like I used to think if I put a bunch of spinach or kale or lettuce or anything in a smoothie, it was going to taste real like earthy or grassy. But even like maybe a little bit you can taste of the celery, but for the most part, like whenever I've tried having a juice, you taste the fruit. It like overpowers all of that. So you won't even taste the greens getting in there for your minerals.
Even for the beets, I have a beet juice that I drink too. I do like maybe 3 to 4 beets. I do a whole head of purple cabbage. I know they call it red cabbage, but it's actually purple, so I don't get that. But purple, maybe like 2 lemons, and then I do some uh apples, just regular apples. I don't do the green apples, and then I do like a pineapple for sweet. And you can still taste the beets, just a little bit of the beets, but it's refreshing and it tastes actually really good.
That's amazing. And how does do you make compost for your garden from your juiced residue?
I said I was gonna start because I haven't been, and I know that's good for the veg. I mean, for the plants. So I'm going to start doing that. I am.
Oh, good deal. What was I going to ask you right before that? Oh, I should have asked you first because by the time we get to that statement, now I've forgotten again. I need a juice fast with this. Oh, I think that's what I was going to ask. How do you feel like your like digestion changed over this period of time? Because I know like when I went from regular diet to raw, I did not know that I was like, for lack of not sounding gross, that I was supposed to go to the bathroom that much. Right? Like it just feels like a cleansing probably on a juice fast because I'm just thinking of from going to raw food, so I can imagine from the juice.
So yeah, it's I was always pretty regular, but with the juice and the raw foods, because you still have bowel movements on the juice too.
Hmm.
Like, realize that 'cause they're like, you're not eating anything. Where's it come from? Well, it's come from somewhere because I still have bowel movements, but I've been pretty regular, and it's more. I say this without being too gross. Like,
It's okay. We all, I think that's it. When you have a baby or when you're vegan, we always talk about our elimination, right?
so it comes out cleaner. First of all, it doesn't smell as much at all. You
Isn't
have
that something? Like that's wild, isn't it?
stink. It doesn't stink. Like you can go in the bathroom behind me, you're not gonna really smell too much. That's one thing. And then when you're wiping, cleaning yourself, when I'm eating, like when I was eating horrible, like I would use a roll of tissue, just wipe and wipe and wipe and wipe. I know this sound crazy, but I would just wipe, wipe. But now it's like it's clean. Like I just
Right.
yes.
now we know why, like, because animals in the wild, they're eating what they were designed to eat. That's why they don't need toilet paper. I just realized you don't see little rolls of toilet paper along the trees for the, wild animals, right? Being silly, but seriously, that's amazing. I've noticed, like, it's like everybody you talk to has those same things, and we think that just, poop is supposed to stink. And well, and that reminds me, do you mind talking about that parasite thing?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Then I'll do my last question, I promise. But that just popped up because I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on? Been hearing about these things, and then I heard you talk about it.
So yeah, I wasn't expecting the parasite to come out. Okay, I know I haven't taken the like the black walnut hull and wormwood and clove. Then the activated charcoal is what did it. When I finally, because I had been skipping it a couple, I finally started taking it, and I went to the bathroom and I got up. I usually don't just be like examining too hard, but something told me to look, and I looked and I saw something like tiny and brown, like it was at the top at first and it started floating down. Like, what is that?
Oh my gosh.
Because I didn't poop, it was pee.
That
And
was what freaked me out when I saw your video.
so I looked, I had to get closer. I was just looking in the toilet, like, what is that? And I looked and it looked like a little worm. And then it had like the little like the biofilm, like the little mucus.
Hmm.
It,
Like
it
tentacle type things.
yeah, it was just floating down at the bottom. Like, oh
Oh.
gosh. So
That was awesome. I was like, she has taken us through the journey. When I say honesty, I mean honesty. She even has a picture of it up. So go to her page. You know,
yeah.
you all want to see it. Um, even if we're not going to admit to it, we wanted to see that parasite. Um, there was something. Oh, the last thing. Okay, and then I promise I'll let you go. But I'm just so excited. You'll have to come on again if you ever have something to promote or want to talk or just hang out, because I think this is fun and I think people will enjoy this, hearing about your journey. But the okay, so like a day of raw food, people know what it's like for me. I'll eat like a grapefruit and orange for lunch or something, and then all of a sudden for dinner is my big same salad that I share every night, with all the stuff and avocados, peas, corn, lettuce. But what is a day of eating look like for you, in case someone that is a little more creative, or well, I mean, I'm creative. I make faces in my salad, but I'm gonna say a little more creative with the raw cuisine. What would you say you would eat from breakfast, lunch, and dinner, if you don't mind? Just an example day of one of the days you were raw.
okay, I'll give an example of the days I eat because most of the days I don't eat. I might just eat one wrap in the evening. So I might wake up and grab like some oranges or banana. Um, I'll get, like pumpkin seeds or some type of nuts throughout the day, snacking nuts or seeds. Um, and then for lunch, it'll be more fruits like watermelon, mango, just fruits or a salad. It depends on how I'm feeling. I might do a little salad and fruits. Then by the evening, that's when I'll do like my different kind of stuffed avocados or collard green wraps or something like that. But that's it. I just mix it up with different fruits and nuts, and then I throw in smoothies or smoothie bowls sometimes.
That sounds good. You're getting me hungry just thinking about it. That is awesome. And I know I've kept you past probably the time we thought we were gonna go. So I'm so excited. And I'm really thankful for everybody that came today too. We had a good crowd here. We had Carrie, Dawn was here, we had Marakita popped in. Um, oh, Dawn said something here and I forgot to read it. Food can kill and it can also heal. The cool thing is the body was always meant to heal itself. We just need to give it the right fuel. Absolutely. Like we do that for our car. We look in the little manual, and there's actually a manual for our health. Like, it's amazing. And most of it is getting out of the way of it. Like, I think really for me, just getting rid of those things that were hindering it and letting it, do its thing, I think. And one of the things I also talk about, oh, and then we had that country girl. I think that's that name. I feel like I'm not reading it right. No. That one wait, I don't know. I
Yeah,
think it's that country girl. Okay, and then I thought it was I know another guest, or person that comments is that one girl, so I was like, "Wait, am I reading that wrong with my eyes?" And then Kether and or Keither, I think it's Kether, we came up with that before. And then we've got, I think that was everyone. I think Carrie, did I mention you? But yeah, I would just really appreciate you all coming and being here to hang out with us. And I was gonna say, can you just tell us any like last thoughts or anything you have for us before you go, or any message you want us to bring with us?
wow. Basically, I would really say the same thing Don just said. Basically, we have the power to heal ourselves through what we put in our bodies. So I always remember that. I was thinking the other day about like a lizard. A lizard don't go to the doctor. It you cut off its tail, it just grows right back. You know what I'm saying? So,
That's true.
I believe it didn't like if we cut ourselves and we scab over, it just heals itself. Our body was meant to heal itself. But we
Hmm.
put much poison into it, through our foods and medicines and stuff we taking that it's poisoning us basically. So yeah, our bodies are meant to heal themselves. We just have to watch what you put in it.
That is so true. Thank you for sharing that message with the world, and thank you for putting your story and your journey out there and inspiring us. And I'm sure I'll be seeing you here. I got to go check out the video. I got to look it up and see what you decided to have for your how that rotel dip. I learned something new today. Right? Did I say it right?
Gonna come out next week.
Oh, next week. All right. I'll wait. That is awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here with us and for sharing your amazing plants formation.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you all for coming and watching as well.
You did amazing. Thank you. And Heather said the pleasure was ours. Yes, it was. All right, everyone. Have a good evening. And thank you again for coming on. Thank
All
you.
right.